What's going on there, YouTube?
I'm Right Cheek, aka Kevin.
Left Cheek, aka Dustin.
This is the whole last show. Okay? We're gonna talk about Ren and the whole Sick Boy album and the whole Kujo Beats situation. Alright? So it's gonna be a shit show.
It might be.
It might be.
It might be.
It might be.
So
Ren's a mature person.
yeah,
Ren's a mature person.
seems like it.
Yeah. Nah, I say he's a mature, level-headed person. Until you fuck with him, but that's the thing. That's anybody though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
because that's how I am. Like I'm pretty like level-headed and mature until you fuck around and then find out.
It's
That's
called
just-
that FAFO.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. But yeah, I know we're a little bit behind on this, but I've been busy on stuff.
Some of y'all's been popping up saying, "Hey, y'all need to look at this, look at this, look at this." Even though if we are behind on time, we just have some stuff going on. But without further ado,
Yeah, let's go.
let's just see what it do.
I want to see what it does.
This is a video that I never, ever really wanted to have to make, but it's very important for me that I do. All the time, artists all over the world pour their souls
My
into
bad, I
their
muted the
work,
mic on accident.
and that work is tainted by money or greed. A lot of you will have been asking me the question why Sick Boy has disappeared now, as well as YouTube on streaming services. It's a video that was very close to me. It's a video that told my story about my health. It's a video that told the story of many other people who have been gaslit by the medical community. It's a story of greed in the music industry, ironically, funnily enough. It's also a song that I poured tens of thousands of pounds into for a music video, for promotion. It was also the leading title of the only #1 album that I've got, so I was very, very proud of it.
Damn.
Let's go,
And we no
Ren.
longer have
Yeah.
that song, guys. And I want to go into the reasons why. Also, I do recommend sticking around to the end of this video because I've got a very exciting announcement about all of this that relates to all of this
Oh,
right
shit.
at the end.
Oh,
People
shit.
who have been following me for a while, they'll know the sort of person I am. They know the principles that I have, and they'll know how I treat other independent artists. So they'll know why it was so important for me to have to make this video. And I want this to be as unbiased as possible. Obviously, I'm emotionally affected by it, and that may leak in, right? But I want to share entire clips of these conversations so there can be no doubt. Also, if Kujo and his girlfriend want to share any more screenshots of either of those conversations, I encourage them to, because I believe that this should all be public knowledge so there can be no doubt. Rather than taking people's words from it, I would like them just to see transparently what has happened here. To give
That's
context
why.
for all of this, back in 2022, I buy a beat from BeatStars, right? For anyone who doesn't know, BeatStars is a platform that connects producers to artists who need beats. I do produce most of my own work, but I wanted to find some hip-hop beats for inspiration. What I would usually do is buy a beat, arrange it slightly differently, tweak it myself, add my own vocals, add my own layers and stuff like that. I find this banging beat, right, from a producer called Kujo Beats, which I buy an unlimited license for. This is all very important to keep in mind for later on, right? I buy an unlimited license, which means that I am able to put it on all streaming platforms and get as many streams as I want, and all recording on platforms like YouTube, etc., right? After I do this, I send my YouTube guy that I work with, and I send the publishing team an email just giving them a heads up, being like, yo guys, I bought this beat, they need to be registered correctly, content ID needs to be turned off. I'll put a clip of that. I'm putting screenshots of those messages here just in case Kujo claims I never did this. I did do this. I also went the extra mile and messaged the team and said, look, we need to credit him on Spotify credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always
Over for, please, if you read the license, it says that they need to be credited, and just from a moral standpoint, I'm good too.
Cool.
Wicked. Have what they want to be credited as on the licenses. Some of them are different. That's good. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't do that.
No.
A lot
But
of artists don't do that. They'll do what he does, and like they'll buy a beat and then they'll just remix it, and like he said, you know,
just change a couple of things.
He changes it a little bit, like he tweaks it to himself, and then he layers it and all that, and then that's it, right?
Yeah.
A lot of artists will do that, but he wanted to give the original guy credit to it. You know what I mean? And That's it kind of.
It says they need to be credited because that helps get them out there.
Yeah.
Fully credit producers. I think that I forgot to do it in the YouTube description for like the first month or two, and then I updated it, and then he was fully credited the whole time, right? That was just a lapse because there was a lot going on. I was in Canada treating and stuff. But anyway, he was credited fully.
But I mean, he still did it on Spotify.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And as far as I was aware, registered everywhere. So I don't think anything of it, right? Also, in the BeatStars contract, it says very clearly that the person selling you the beat has to own the beat. And if there are any elements of the beat that he doesn't own, he has to let you know. This is very important to remember for what is to follow as well, right?
See?
So yeah,
shit.
I think there's no problems. I buy the beat. I record a song, and this is before things have blown up with my music, so I'm still pretty underground artist at this point. I record the track, put it out. I even get a message from him at some point, which is also important to remember because of the hypocrisy of this whole situation. That's like, wicked, I love the track. Okay? Remember that too. Before I begin, I just want to add this. I have no problem with BeatStars. I think they're a very innovative company who actually help people make art, which I'm very, very passionate about. I think the contracts
but
and
if
the
their
things you're
users
getting into could be clearer.
Following guidelines.
Because we're now in a situation.
So if they're like the company itself that BeatStars, right? That it's good. But if their users that are uploading their beats to sell aren't credible or aren't doing their due process, then that's where it fucks up. Because they're not supposed to. They're not really like, they don't need to check that everyone has their
Credits in place,
right, and their
place.
licensing and their ownership in place, right? They're literally just a middleman. You know, hey, producers, upload your beats here, and then we'll sell them for you. You know, you just leave them here. This way, nobody can rip them from anywhere else. Just leave them here, and then if an artist comes and they listen to it and they take it, then hey, you get paid for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like I don't know, like
Co-parenting.
yeah, yeah, basically, kind of. I mean, it's
Joint custody.
right.
There we go.
You know, so like if if they like it and they buy it, cool. You know, you get paid for it. You know, that's how it is. But the person uploading the beat has to have ownership or the proper licensing for whatever mixes that they made onto the beat itself. And I think that if they don't do that, I mean, obviously they should be held liable for it, not the person that bought it.
But see, I think that's where we're about to find out where the mix-up is, because he thought he bought a fully licensed beat.
Right, because it should be. Because if you're,
It should be, yeah.
Because him as an artist, all the risks have been taken out by people that have uploaded into BeatStars, right?
Yeah.
Because they own the music that's being put through in BeatStars, right? That's the whole point of this, right? They're the middleman. So whoever uploads to BeatStars shows and has ownership of this music that they're uploading, and then him as the artist buys it knowing or hoping that that it's all cleared and now it's all good to go, because one of the guidelines is you can't upload something that's not owned by you.
Yeah. Well, he did it any damn way.
And so now he's screwed. Now Ren is screwed out of that.
Unless he does a remake.
Right.
I'd like to see that.
Unless he re-records it like Taylor Swift did.
Yeah.
When she couldn't own her,
masters.
Yeah, her masters. She just said,
the master track.
Yeah, she just said, screw you guys, I'll just re-record the whole thing. Like all the albums. She just re-recorded them and then re-released them.
And as big of an artist as she is?
Yeah, and she still had to do that? Yeah. I mean, yeah, she just said, screw it, I'll just re-record it and re-release them.
But it's funny, though, because she didn't opt for any kind of legal case. She didn't opt for a lawyer, judge, lawsuit. Nah, she just straight said, oh, okay.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yeah, she just re-released everything. Re-recorded it. Re-recorded it
more.
Fresh. Yep, re-recorded it fresh from her, like from her own side, and then re-released it. I know everybody's like, It's like, that's stupid. Like all these Swifties out here buying the same music that she had already, she had already put out. But at the same time, it's like
They got to hear a
no.
mature version
It's
of
like
it.
no, that's smart. That she did that. It's like, oh, she's just tricking her fan base into buying her songs again. It's like no,
They knew
she's
what they're
doing
buying.
yeah, like she's doing what she's doing to like take care of herself and her issue that she was having, and her fans were fans enough to go and rebuy it under her production, and not under the company that screwed her over out of it. You know what I mean? So
I don't knock her.
no, I'm not. I don't like her music, but I don't knock that. I don't knock that either. Like I don't like her music, but it's just that's smart.
Yeah.
Not
the fact that she's endorsing Kamala Harris. I'm going to get out of that.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that. That's why I don't like her. But that's more reason why I don't like her music at all. Like whatever. Let's go. Ren.
Negotiating older tracks bought from BeatStars. I would love to talk to the if anyone from there is watching. I imagine they will be at some point. I would love to talk to the CEO, founder of BeatStars, face to face.
Right.
Just because I want to understand how something like this could have happened, and I want to understand why it escalated the way it did, because from what I've heard, he's someone who cares a lot about artists, and someone who creates a platform like that, I think must be very passionate about music. I'd love to chat to you if you're listening, and I'd love to figure out why this happened and how we can stop things like this happening in the future. I also think that there needs to be a bit more stringent checks on if people are selling unlicensed samples,
right,
because then things tend to get a little bit sticky like they have here.
Right.
Anyway, that's it. I have no problem with BeatStars because I'm not interested in going to war with them, because I think that it's really cool that there's a platform like that exists for artists and producers to be connected. Just thought I'd put that out there, make that clear. Right, so I arrive home from Canada after a 1.5 year long treatment of treating brain damage and autoimmunity, which a lot of you will know if you've been following my journey. And I'm expecting a nice 2 weeks with my mates before I do my first ever solo show in 5 years because of my health. So I'm just like, I want a nice chill time. I want to be able to focus on rehearsing and stuff. Very early on, I wake up to a message saying, yo, your song Sick Boy has been taken down. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's been copyright striked from this guy Kujo Beats' channel. And initially I'm like, oh, this just must be some automatic fuck up. So like, I don't take it too seriously. I send him a message like, yo, there must have been a technical error or something here. No response for 2 days. So I'm like, what's going on? So I check his channel, and then I see a comment of that beat that he licensed me, and I see a comment that's like, Ren has left me no choice. I'm sorry that I had to do this. And I'm like, okay, so this was intentional. Like, what? Like, the last conversation I had with this guy was months ago, with him being like, yo, big up your work, it's sick. So I'm like super confused about it. So I send him another email like, dude, what's going on? Again, I get absolutely no response. So I put a comment in his YouTube comment section, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get hold of you. Why are you ignoring me? Like, I just want to resolve this amicably. What's going on? Finally, I get a response on Instagram. And for the sake of this...
Hey man, wanting to understand what's going on with this dispute. I thought you had been credited fairly everywhere. If you hadn't been, it's totally my bad. I was going through brain damage treatment at the time of your message, but I thought I'd updated all correctly. In regards to the sample, we got a message saying the sample of the choir had not been cleared, but I had nothing to do with what happened next. That was my publisher. They just told me they were dealing with it, and I heard nothing about it since, so I'm really confused as to what's going on. But I'd love to sort it so everyone's happy, because I don't want, for your sake or mine, for this to need to get legal, because it's such a pain in the ass and costly thing to happen. Okay. If you could, let me know who in my team you've been talking to and what they've said. I'll get on it. Because if it's something they've done wrong on their end, I want to resolve it ASAP so everyone is happy. I just really try focus on music and stay out of all things business, so I had no idea there was an ongoing dispute going on. Just got forwarded some comments from you replying to someone, which I was kind of surprised about.
Little twat nugget I see.
Amicably, what's going on? Finally, I get a response on Instagram. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put all of these responses in their full form so that there can be no doubt as to what happened. I'm just going to read out like the key moments and explain the key moments. But if anyone's like interested in deep diving so there can be no doubt as to what's happened here, feel free to pause it. If Kujo and his girlfriend, like I said, feel like I've left anything out, they're welcome to post it. I have nothing to hide about this situation. So he responds and he tells me that he's been talking to my lawyer for months, which I have no idea about. I've been in Canada. And
Hi, Ren. I'm really sorry that it came to this. I especially asked. Why wouldn't he put specifically?
No, I especially asked.
Not especially, but I especially asked my legal rep not to request a strike since I wanted to avoid this type of situation. My rep has been in contact with your lawyer, who has been exceedingly incompetent in handling the situation. Again, I'm sorry for this total cock up, and I hope you're doing okay. We have been in negotiations with Blank for many months, and he has yet to come forward with reasonable terms according to industry standards. So yeah, I'd say talk to Blank and see what he says. I'm still waiting on updates from my rep at BeatStars. Hi, man. I had no idea at all you were even talking to Blank. He should have told you. All I was told that a couple months ago, the choir sample hadn't been cleared and they were chasing us for money and that it was being dealt with. So I just figured it was being sorted behind the scenes. That's why this has all been surprising.
So the choir that's on the beat is what's going after
Beatdown. And in Beatdown or BeatStars.
No. So
no, but like if you think
so the choir that's on the song Sick Boy,
they didn't say they could be used.
was going after Ren, right? But it was because it was a Ren song, right? But it was Kujo who didn't clear it with the choir. And then he just used the choir, uploaded it to BeatStars, and that was it.
Yeah. And so they're all going after, man, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Although I was told that a couple months ago the choir sample hadn't be ... I was also made aware of that, and I'm sorry it's caused you trouble. Yeah, man. Sorry this caught you off guard. Yeah, that sounds like a bitch response.
he seems like quite a nice guy initially, so I'm like, okay, maybe this has all just been a misunderstanding. I remember even saying to like Connor and that, I was like, this has probably just been a misunderstanding and something's gone wrong here. Don't worry. He seems like you're all right, dude. We will sort this out. But then after that little exchange, I noticed a comment in the YouTube comment section on his.
To all coming from Ren Sick Boy, I have waited over a year for Ren and his team to follow the terms of the contract they signed for this beat. During this period, I have not issued any strikes with the faith that they would make things right. I asked my legal representative not to issue strikes initially, as I had hoped Ren and his team would do the right thing. Unfortunately, they have delayed and avoided providing any reasonable terms to my team with shamefully long periods of silence. Respect to the terms of the contract. Don't spread information. Don't lie. Kujo, you appear to be a liar.
His video saying that I'm lying about the situation when I thought that we like on the same page here. So I pull him up on it and he's like, oh no, I didn't say you were lying.
This paints out that I'm putting out false information. I'm not. Brother, I'm not saying you're lying. Clearly that's what you said in the,
for real.
In the post, in the comment, you know, said that he was lying. I'm addressing the irate fans. I'll edit the comment to make that clear. 1 sec. You said you hoped me and my team would do the right thing. I don't even know what the issue is. I'm really not trying to damage your image, bro. Can you explain it to me? Okay, let me go edit the comment and I'll get back to you right away.
When he clearly did, that should have been like the first red flag for me, but still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe another misunderstanding. Anyway, so I contact my lawyer to find out what the hell's happening because I'm in the dark about all of this situation. And he explains to me that I've been sold a beat with a stolen sample, with an unlicensed sample, and that the Bulgarian choir sample owners had chased him and gone, look, you've used this beat without permission, you've used this sample without permission, and so you need to give us 50% of the publishing split. And what my lawyer's done, because we were sold a beat in good faith and it wasn't actually cleared, he's reached out to Kujo and gone, look, I think you need to absorb this for selling this. In bad faith, basically.
Well, and that's what Ren's lawyer told Kujo.
Yeah,
like you need to take the responsibility for this because it was your fuck up.
But it's mind blowing because of the fact Kujo knows he fucked up. He knows he sold something that he wasn't supposed to sell.
Right.
He probably figured, oh well, it's where this is where it's come from. Nobody will even know.
Right. Right. So Ren's lawyer is like, no, like this is your fuck up, so you're gonna have to absorb the 50%,
Yeah, I agree
collateral
with that.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no shit.
That's your fault, buddy.
Right.
Douche nugget.
Back up.
To absorb this for selling this in bad faith, basically. And they've gone, no, we're not going to absorb that. And then it's escalated, and I think because my lawyer was being slightly slow with the responses, they also, keep in mind, I don't know any of this is happening right now. To get my attention, they issue a copyright strike on the video, which affects my YouTube channel, by the way, and the video gets taken down as a form of leverage, which is a bizarre way of dealing with things, I think, because it would have been a good idea to contact me, maybe, like anyone first, if this was getting so, like, blown up. Like, maybe the lawyers, maybe Kujo could have actually reached out to me, the artist. Nobody did. So I found that a bit bizarre. Any fucking way. Then I read another comment that Kujo's posted, calling me a coward to pay the royalties he's owed. And I'm like, what royalty? That's also, in my head, the publishers are just paying him the money, and now the situation has to change until everyone agrees on it. But I wasn't even privy to that conversation about what a fair split should be yet. So I was like, what? I don't owe you. I don't owe this guy money. Like, there's no master splits on the BeatStars contracts, by the way. So all money that comes in to Kujo, which should be paid to Kujo, rightly so, comes from the publisher, which is nothing to do with me, by the way. Right. I explained this so many times in this conversation, by the way, and he's adamant to say, probably short of like 50 times, pay me my money. I am nothing to do with his money, right? So it's a very bizarre thing to keep saying, but I try to explain that to him patiently, never really takes it in. Anyway, he calls me a coward on this comment, so I pull him up on that. This actually starts to then rub me up a little bit. So I'm like, I pull him up on that. It's saying, like, the hell, like, cowardly?
So this man cowardly, bro. I didn't even know you weren't being paid publishing, but publishing has nothing to do with the actual artist. I've been frustrated with my own publisher, but if there's been a faulty registration on your publishing, then you and me both are pissed at them because I forwarded them the contact from BeatStars for this exact reason, so you'd get all publishing you deserve. There should be a 50-50 split. Bet I'll edit it out. Like I said, I woke up to a bunch of angry fans, and it got me shook. This is all just a pretty crazy way to go about things. I don't understand why the copyright strike would even be sent without anyone, you or my lawyer, telling me what's going on. I don't understand why your lawyer didn't tell you anything. That's on him. Like, was Blank warned about it? The copyright strike? Dude, my legal rep has been talking to Blank for months. Literally months. But that's the thing, though. If he buys, so how does it work then? When the artist, yeah, right, the whole last show, yeah. when the artist buys a beat from BeatStars, then once they get credited from the artist, because they're supposed to, they should be credited by the artist, right? Then all the publishing then gets split between, because then BeatStars becomes a publisher, right, for the beat. So then that's where all revenue that comes in from the beat gets passed on to the actual producer. But they have to split it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but something just ain't right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't say that it's on BeatStars either, because BeatStars is going based off of the fact that people that are uploading beats onto their platform have cleared, the proper channels through it. You know what I mean? Like, and if they haven't done that, that's on them.
But see, this is something that no one's ever going to know the truth about, probably. I mean, no matter how transparent Ren is, no matter how transparent Kujo becomes,
yeah,
that just sounds like a crock of bullshit.
Yeah. Let's go.
Anyway, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. Anyway, despite this, I feel like he's probably just misinformed, so I still take his side on it, and I go on to reassure him he'll get paid his publishing money because I want him to get paid his publishing money. Doesn't affect me in any way, so I was like, yeah.
Right, so homie, look, my solution is this. We figure out what percentage this bulk inquirer is wanting from publishing. I have a feeling it's fucking stupidly high. Then we just talk out how to do it fairly. Screw lawyers, then I'll go back to them with that agreed on. I prefer to let my guy at BeatStars handle the legal stuff since I'm a beat maker, not a negotiator. And I have no idea what's fair and what isn't. Okay, totally fair enough. If you'd like, I can give you his contact info, then you can talk to him direct. I just want to understand why that isn't clear in the contract.
I'll chase it up for you. I let him know that I'm happy to split publishing if there's a bit of a grey area, and I'm kind of reassuring him. It's really important to remember this, by the way, guys, because some of the lies that are posted later make me out to be really unreasonable. So I'm like, yo, if there's some simple mistake, let's split the publishing. It's cool. I'm
All I want to know, which nobody is telling me, is were you legally obliged to either inform me or clear the sample before I bought it? If yes, you should cover publishing. If no, let's just split the publishing equally on whatever shares left over after the guys chasing the sample have their share. To me, that's not rocket science, but no one can give me a clear answer. Also, what I still totally don't understand is why was there a copyright strike on a YouTube video which has absolutely nothing to do with publishing.
Right.
And see, that's something that don't make sense to me neither. Why did they go after him to try to get any leverage? That's just ignorant.
Right, but that's what Kujo did that. Kujo did the copyright strike to get his attention.
It's so stupid.
Because then that just stops money from coming in too. On top of that,
Yeah.
you know,
Because
if he thinks about it, but he didn't think about it.
clearly don't think about shit.
Right.
Because whether that was you or your representative, that's a really fucking weird thing to do. That's harm my own hard work. I don't care about whatever the splits end up being. All I care about is what I'm legally right or wrong here. So I don't understand why no one can give me an answer. So it's so simple to me.
happy to do that. Yeah. Anyway, so he comes back to me and lies more. He says, it's always up to the performer to clear the sample. It's not, it's up to the producer.
Right.
But unless there's been a conversation. But in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get your fair share. So actually, it's me making the concessions here because he sold a stolen sample. And I'm like, you know what? You can still have some publishing split, right? So like, I'm actually being the one that's being quite reasonable here, and he's flipped on his head like, we'll be good to you, you know?
Yeah.
But I've done nothing wrong in this situation. Anyway, I was like, and then he says, I was under the impression you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Another lie, as you'll see soon. He and his lawyer agreed to take this video down as a form of leverage. It was our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Maybe message me.
Right.
They're
You've been
how can we
messaging
get a
him.
response? Okay, we'll take
You've been
his
messaging
video
him
down,
directly no matter
issue a
what.
copyright strike.
Normally,
which also,
why not just
I didn't
message him
actually
directly?
violate the contract, not intentionally. So the only possible tactic, dude, message me. Send me an email, like you've messaged me before to tell me that you love my work. So like,
right.
Send me an email about this. Anyway, he says he also wants to wrap it up immediately and get the song back online. Another lie, as you will see later on, because he decides to stick to his guns and use the video as leverage. Anyway, the plot thickens. I get an email from their lawyer, and I'm not going to share it in case they start claiming I'm sharing things I'm not supposed to.
Smart.
But I get an email, and it says, on top of the publishing split, they want a £3,000 payment, right? They want a 15% retroactive split of the master, which has nothing to do with publishing, which means like 15% of everything the song has ever made since it came out. Retroactively, so since it's come out to this moment and then into the future, when I've paid for an unlimited sample, unlimited license beat, and with that you're talking money from record sales, you're talking money from streaming things, you're talking all of that when they haven't put any effort into promoting the song. He's made a beat and he's stolen part of the beat, and he wants 15% of everything the song has ever made for that, plus the £3,000 advance. Out of principle, I wasn't going to give him that. But because like may have been slightly open to negotiations if they hadn't used the song as leverage and actually treated me like a decent person. I hadn't put like lies about the situation, right? But nah, out of principle, I wasn't going to agree to that. And also to clarify, when I've been in rooms with producers and we've made a song from scratch, I've done a lot of like 50-50 splits, or I've done like 25-75, or with other collaborated artists, we just agree on a split that's like 50-50, 25. So, you know, like 15% isn't outrageous, right? What's outrageous is that they already sold it with an unlimited license right from the get-go. So you go into BeatStars thinking, I'm buying an unlimited license for this much money, right? And I was broke at the time when I bought that beat. So it's like, you go into the situation buying something, and then later on down the line, it can come back and sting you if they go, oh, this slight thing, well, we found a loophole here, which means that now you owe us all this money, right? So it's like, it was kind of unfair, because say you buy a painting off somebody for £10, and then the price of it rises exponentially because maybe the painter dies or something, or he becomes really popular. You don't then just go back to the person you sold it to and go, oh, that painting's worth like 20 times more now, give me a bit more money for it, because the transaction's been done. And that's kind of how I felt about the BeatStars thing. It wasn't about me losing money, it was about the principle of like, we've stepped into this agreement, and I was in full faith thinking I was buying an unlimited sample, but that's unlimited license, sorry, but that's not actually what's happened, is it? Right? And it says that if I don't agree to this, there.
Oh shit!
Yo, man, your guy saying you should be owed 100% is crazy. The amount of work I've put into the video and the promotion of that song, like, there wouldn't have been any money to be fighting for in the first place if I hadn't pushed it the way I did. I'm not sure why you can't see it. But your lawyer is being a shark. The fact he wants a bigger split of the master on top of me paying you $3K would have been an equal, in having an equal publishing split after third party after I paid for the track already is nuts. I'm really sorry to have to go this route, dude, but if he doesn't budge on this, we're going to have to take it to court, and I'm going to have to put out a statement about the whole thing. I don't really see what other option I have, because I really shouldn't be paying $3,000 plus losing an additional 25% of mastering, and even more on the master after all the work I put in this is insanity to me. Yeah, no shit. If we had shared an equal cost of making the music video, promoting the track, building a career, selling the record, sure, obviously. But you're talking like tens of thousands of dollars and months of work there, and I'm not asking you for that. I get that you made the beat, but I actually put a fair bit of work into the arrangement and writing and vocals after the fact, which you can clearly hear. But then beyond that, spent so much of my own money to even make the track successful after years and years of building a following who meant there was even an audience for this in the first place. Wow. I want you to be paid for your work, but dude, this is insanity. Surely you can see that. Threats to claim 100% of the song from your lawyer is kind of insulting after I offered to pay you money out of my own pocket. I've been super respectful about the whole thing, but it's really going too far now. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's like you said, so you're just selling beats, and then if the artist blows up, then you come back to him after.
Well, I feel like Kujo's asking for more money because one, the choir's asking for more money.
Well,
he's wanting Ren to pay for his fuck up because he didn't get proper clearance for what he sold.
So basically, like, he wants Ren to pay for the fuck up and then pay him money on top because the song made money.
Yeah, I'll give you $2,500 if you give me $5,000 back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Within their right to claim 100% of the song because I have breached something in the contract, right? Now, this is what I breached. Apparently, Content ID was turned on the track, okay, on YouTube. As you'll see from my earlier on in this video, I actually specifically requested Content ID was turned off, and my YouTube guide did turn it off. There has been something to do with the distribution where somewhere along the line, even after I specifically requested this, it may have gotten turned on at some point, right? Where this doesn't actually make any money, which we've got proof of, because I actually let reactors, I let content creators monetize their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this.
And thank you for that.
Yeah, we highly appreciate that. There's not a lot of artists that'll do that, like Ren, Tom, Ronnie, like there's a few, like that'll
Fila,
that will literally just go, yeah, you guys do your thing, man. Like
Band-Maid.
Because it helps them too. You know, it spreads the word.
Not only that, it's like the one thing is really aggravating about all the copyright shit is that, and I don't know how far along you guys are in the video, if you are watching this whole video of ours or not, but regardless, we don't have an issue at all reacting to any artist, any music. It
whether
really comes
whether
down,
it gets monetized or not, we don't really like. To be honest, we don't really care.
but what turns us away from reacting is a fan base.
Well,
But
not just the fan base, but when we get completely blocked from
completely
from
blocked,
uploading, from uploading the
and
video,
threatening to copyright strike us.
from uploading the video, it's kind of sad, you know, because all we're doing is like I said, we don't really care. We don't really care if we make money on it or not.
We want to,
Of course, everybody wants to, but at the same time, if it doesn't, it doesn't. If through our reaction, we get more people to listen to, you know, to the certain
free
artist,
advertisement.
yeah, to the certain artist that we're reacting to, then hey, by all means, because I've done that too. Well, I'll watch a reactor, like, you know, react to either a new band or a new rapper or a new singer, and I'm like, oh, hell, let me go see what else they have.
got.
You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
that's how I find some stuff too, you know? So it's like, that's fine. You know, but he's one of the few that will like vocally say like, hey, no, you guys can use my stuff. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you guys monetize your stuff. It's fine. You guys can monetize your stuff. It's completely good with me. Like I said, he's quite one of the few. Like,
See, even if you don't allow full monetization of it, like there's a lot of his tracks where we shared the monetization.
mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, no, I don't care because I enjoyed doing the video and I enjoyed listening to the song.
Exactly.
You know, and I know that our subscribers do the same too, like feel the same too.
Yeah.
You know, they love who we're reacting to, and then they also enjoyed our reaction to what we're listening to.
Exactly.
You know, so like to us, like it doesn't, whether or not we make any revenue from it, like it doesn't really matter to us. Like I said, yes, of course. I mean, everybody wants to make money, especially when you're working on something, you know. But artists go years and years and years, like painting pictures and like not making any money off of it, which is, you know, like the common, like, you know, oh, I'm a struggling artist, you know. Well, yeah, because you're not making any money on it now, but eventually you find that thing that actually makes you money. But this whole time you've been doing it because you wanted to, because you enjoyed doing what you're doing. Comedians, same way. There's plenty of comedians that will be doing the comedy circuits and like just traveling and not making any money, playing in like the dingiest bars and like with no stage setup or nothing, but they do it because they love to do it, right? And it helps them like hone their craft at the same time, but but they just do it because they love to do it. Whether or not they make it, you know? Like, yeah. It's just... But coming back to him after making a bunch of money for money that he's already paid, like, that's crazy. That is crazy. But
creators,
we love that.
Monetize their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this since the start because I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. A rising tide lifts all ships, baby. So, like... I'm like, they're using this as leverage, but legally, but thus is the world. They actually had something to lean on with that. So they were like, look, if you don't agree to these terms, 15% retroactive master split, this share on publishing, and a £3,000 advance against the master, we're going to take 100% of what you own. At this point, I'm obviously pretty annoyed.
I would be too.
I'd be
pissed. It's pretty understandable, right? Anyway, at this point, they've got my attention, so there's no reason they need to use the video for Sick Boy as leverage, right? So I give them a fair warning. I'm like, mate, if you don't put the video back up on Friday, I'm going to have to put a public post explaining why it's down. And I give him a fair warning, which is also important to remember because later on he plays the victim saying that I've put a post encouraging my fans to bully him, which I didn't. I gave him a fair warning about it. I never once encouraged them to bully him. I just needed to explain why my video was down because this was proper stressing me out. And I feel like I didn't want to be silenced about it.
He's got to respond to his fans.
When the time comes around, I put the post out. And I'm always still thinking for like a positive solution here. So I have like a brainwave of like, oh, I've got a brilliant solution, right? So I approach him and I'm like, dude,
I might have a creative solution. I don't believe in looking back, and if I have to re-record all these tracks with BeatStars, and this ends up being a war, it's gonna be a real pain in the ass. The issue here is I see it is you feel you have been treated unfairly by this whole publishing situation. I agree. I feel I've been treated really unfairly by the fact my own video I poured myself into is being used as leverage, and the original agreement isn't honored because someone who wasn't even me fucked up. When it's only me who gets stung financially, that is, yeah, that's kind of fucked. So basically, both of us have been fucked here, right? How about this? We figure out how to make this right with the publishing for Sick Boy. I got an amazing way to get you back, to get you a fuckload more public sympathy and support. Make money and subscribers and cut out all the greedy middlemen because people are already so emotional about this. At the heart of this, at the heart of this is what you are, a sick producer, and I am successful because I poured myself into this shit, right? We make a track together, independent of BeatStars, independent of anyone else, simple contract, 50-50 split, something that bangs, and a narrative to put out publicly that it is a middle finger to the industry. You don't have to be so vocal about that part because I don't want you to damage your relationship with your distribution platform. What's that going to do is turn all this frustration my fans have at the situation into a lot of public support. You're going to be seen as a champ for doing the right thing and get a bunch new subs and clients. I can breathe knowing I'm not going through all this fucking bullshit anymore. And we have a banging song that will make us both cash. That is actually like the
Adult
smart
way.
thing to do because, yeah, I mean, they're. It seems like they're both kind of getting fucked, but it was more so Kujo, who was kind of getting fucked, and then
He wanted to be more. He wanted to
and
be
then
profitable. Also,
yeah,
the
and then
situation.
all of a sudden he's like, whoa, 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 that's not me, that's him. You know what I mean? And like that's that. I feel like that's kind of where it all just got messed up. You know what I'm saying? But he is at fault for selling an unlicensed portion of a song. That's his fault. You know, it's like he's trying to like cover for the money basically now.
Yeah, he wants. It's like
Yeah.
loan sharking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he's making money now. Yeah, I can make more off of him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, shit, dude, like do a song together. Oh man, 50-50 split. Like I'm sure he'd have no problem with that. Like they both make money.
Yeah. but
Hell, who
apparently
knows? He
Kujo
might not
won't.
even need to use BeatStars anymore. But it's people being greedy. People being greedy.
Look, I know that things got complicated here, but out of principle, I don't really want to budge on the master split for this thing, but I've got a much better idea. Because a lot of my fan base are like now giving him, because I put the public post out, a lot of my fan base is giving him grief, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want this guy's life to get ruined because of this. Like, despite how frustrated it's made me, I don't want this guy to get ruined. I don't want him to get abused about it. I just want him to get the song back. That was the thing. So like, I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, look, I thought of a thing because I am a man of principle. I didn't want to bend to threats and stuff about the song being claimed 100%. So I'm like, I've got a much better idea. Let's make a song. We'll split it 50-50 down the middle. Master, publishing, everything. A song from scratch. Then if we do that way, it'll be like a fuck you to the industry. Yeah, you and me on a track. You'll make way more money this way because it's 50-50. You'll also get my fan base on your side. It's going to be a great thing because I'm always like, I want to look forward. I don't want to look backwards. I don't want to look at all these things that happened in the past. I'm like, this is actually going to make him even more. And he rejected it. He turned it down, which I still think to this.
I find it hard to envision working on another song until this current situation is sorted. I work another job on the side, so I don't really have time to read through all this right now and give you a satisfactory answer at the moment. I will reiterate that all I want is a fair conclusion for both of us. I don't want to bleed you dry or ask you for anything that I'm not owed. I respect you and what you have accomplished with your work. I've always treated every artist I've worked with more than fairly and have always asked for independent artists who, granted, have a much bigger challenge for less than I do. They're dragging this out only truly profits your lawyer since my representative is employed by BeatStars, not directly by me. Complications and misunderstandings only profit your lawyer, not you, or me, or anyone on my team. This whole situation is hurting you and your image because you have so much more to lose than me. So I wish we could have kept this private. I feel for you, Ren. I really do.
How do you say I wish we could have kept this private when you're the one that
Snatch
went
the
in,
shit down.
Well, not only copyright striked it, but he's the one that started commenting and like made a video about it. He started the whole thing. Oh my god.
I think it's also fair to say that the details of these negotiations far surpass our comprehension, as we are merely artists. I have no background in law. That's why I'm letting blank advise me on this. I've been fucked by a lot of people in this industry, and that's why I joined BeatStar/Sony Pub. I needed someone on my side who fully understands how this all works, and they have only ever been fair and honest with me in every matter. Read through my proposition, it massively benefits you. I find it hard to envision working on another song until this current situation.
He's responding to that.
Yeah. This situation doesn't hurt my image at all. This is massively gaslighting.
Yeah.
Tell me which one of these statements wasn't a lie. Ooh, what's next?
This day is a bit of a silly move given what happened and what happened next, but it's a shame, man. And if you're watching this, you really should have taken that. I'm sure you are watching it. You really should have taken that deal. It was brilliant. Not only would it set you up with way more money, which is obviously what you most care about in this situation, but it also got loads of my fans on your side, which would also set you up for all things that you release independently as well, and you'd have come out this looking good. Shame. I offered you that olive branch. I offered quite a few olive branches on numerous occasions, which you weren't interested in. Then after that, there's a post on Instagram saying that I've stolen samples from people, which is bizarre because I never have. So I send him a message being like, that he said that.
You were talking about my last track, the Vera Hall samples cleared, other than that Wiz track, because all of the tracks I made are all my own beats and recordings. Receipts, it's even online on public database. I'm not talking shit. Everything I've said comes from this conversation, which is why I've said many times you're welcome to share it. Also, if you're talking about any online retakes, I've actually had props from the artists they're stamped from, and they get revenue share on the videos. But nice reach, man. When did my guy say it was? It isn't true, brother. It's not on the buyer to clear the sample unless it's contractually stated.
A British artist has got in touch with him and been like, Ren steal samples, which is obviously complete made up bullshit, right? So I messaged him about that. I'm like, what samples have I stolen? The Vera Hall one that I just put out, totally cleared. We cleared that with publishing company because I actually don't like steal my samples. And then any covers that I've done, they're just on YouTube. You're allowed to do that because there's a cover license on YouTube. So like, what are you talking about? To which he then just like ignores it, takes the post down, and then like, and then just goes on some other fucking tangent. So it's like kind of grasping at straws here to make me look like the bad guy. So we arranged to have this call with the lawyers and Kujo, and I'm actually really excited to have the call because it's the first time I can talk to Kujo face to face, deal with this like grown-ups, like adults, and talk to each other.
You're not gonna show.
But it's not how it pans out. So we get on the call, and the first thing that happens is the lawyer just says, look, Ren, I think that you taking this public was very unprofessional. And I was like, hold on a second. I wasn't the person who took this public, first of all.
Right.
Like, taking the video down is an aggressive move. And also, I didn't take it public, first of all. Kujo was commenting countless things on his YouTube before I even made the comment. Calling me a liar, a coward, a numb. So, like, to say that I took this public, nah, I just responded to what happened and then explained to my fans why the song was down. Those posts are still up for everyone to see. All the posts on his comments are still there for everybody to see. So first of all, it was kind of like we got into it straight away with me like having to be like, I put it straight and then everyone was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. The funniest thing about that call is Kujo was on it. He did not say a single word. Even when I like addressed him with questions, his lawyer would interject and go, I can answer that. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to talk to the person who's like, you know, like an adult. I want to talk to this person. And then my lawyer there's even a moment where my lawyer's like, look, I want to address this question to Kujo. Do you actually feel like this situation is fair? He says nothing, and the lawyer interjects again. So for that whole call, which, you know, took about half an hour, 40 minutes, he didn't say a single word. And I thought that was disrespectful given the circumstances. He later claimed that it was because he doesn't legally know enough and it should be between the lawyers. But no, man, like, regardless of your legal knowledge, we can still have a conversation like adults. Like, I'm not here to try and like intimidate or anything like that. I want to talk to you like a grown-up. brother. And that didn't happen. I wasn't afforded that luxury. I was talking a fair bit on that call about how I felt about the situation and what I felt was right. And I also said on that call that I didn't think that a retroactive split was right, because of all the reasons I've mentioned. But it is what it is, man. And then we came off the call and I felt pretty let down by it, to be honest. This is where the plot gets even more ridiculous, and I'm sorry this is a long video, guys, but
no, we're good.
This is mad, and this is emotionally exhausting.
Our videos will be
I
longer.
read a bunch of comments on Instagram from this person talking about the contract, saying things that aren't actually in the contract. I'm like, who the f is this? So I messaged him and be like, yo, by the way, you're misinformed. The contract actually doesn't state that it's on me to clear the samples. Then I click on the profile, I realise that it's Kujo's girlfriend, so I immediately unsend all those messages, because to be honest, look, he was getting grief from my fans, and I think to myself, you know what, he needs someone supporting him, even though that he's been an arsehole. I don't want to like start messaging his girlfriend and shit, whatever. I'll leave her out of this. But she sees that I've unsent the messages, and she instigates the conversation, says, have you done an oopsie? We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it. It actually ends up being, it seems to me, like it's like semi-amicable after a while of talking to each other. Like you can pause this and read this if you want. It's like basically the long and short of it is like she feels like Kujo's been misrepresented and feels like it's a lot of the industry's fault, my lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what Kujo feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which, even though it's a little bit out of pocket, you know me, I laugh about it. The thing that rubs me up about things like that is, if that had been the other way around, I never actually once got violent about this situation. If that had been the other way around, they would have been like, Ren's such a violent, later on they would have been like, Ren's such a violent person, or using bully tactics, because they've spoken about like how I'm using bully tactics by simply talking about the situation publicly, transparently. She also gaslights me by saying, you know, like, imagine what would have happened if he had mental health issues. I have a very long list of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues. You're not considering what it does to my mental health, are you, when you take down a song that means that much to me? A song that I've poured into, that I'm exposing a part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody's life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video. But I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So, like,
you know, it'd be funny.
They say to me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that. I'm not, guys. I don't want.
You know, it'd be funny. What if he re-records the song using the Bulgarian choir?
Just find out. Want to skip?
No. I don't want to skip. But what if he just says, "Fuck this! I'm gonna make the song with the Bulgarian choir," and pay them the 50-50 split?
Now, if you're right, then that means you're lying. You watch the shit behind my back.
Come on now.
You know that's what they're going to say.
I know,
because I was reading subtitles in that one video, and you're like, "Oh, well, he's clearly heard the song." Like, thankfully, someone in the comments section said, "Yo, you do realize they have the subtitles?" Yeah, it's like, dumbass.
Want you to go and abuse them.
That will be dope,
right?
though.
It would be funny.
It is up to me to talk about this situation.
It would be petty funny.
We seem to make some middle ground. She's even talking to me about like her ADHD and knows that I've got ADHD, and like, you know, maybe we've just got. So I'm like, you know what? She seems
trying to
pretty
sympathize with them,
right? So like, cool. You know what? Maybe these guys are. It's just a big misunderstanding, and we can figure a way to amicably sort this out. And I say to her, look, yeah, I'm happy to split the publishing, but I don't really want to split the master out of principle because I bought this, right? You know, but. Then at this point I start being like, you know what, maybe I'll split some of the master for the future stuff just to get this out of the way, even though I don't believe I should, because they've stolen the beat with a stolen sample. I'm like, if this just gets this over the line, I'm happy to split the future master. I even say that in the email thread to the lawyers and stuff, right? So I'm like, I'm conceding a little bit here because I just want this situation done with. We end on a good note in this conversation. Then the next morning
God knows.
I wake up to posts from her all over my Reddit lying about the contract, and then I see a comment on Anthony Ray's video where he's talking about the situation from her, saying this is what the contract says, and she made up she wrote a whole passage that wasn't even in our contract. It was completely made up. So after her being super nice to me behind the scenes in this conversation and feeling like I wake up to read this and I'm like, I start losing my mind because I'm like, these guys, they're like, they pretend they're on my side and then it's just like they publicly post all this stuff. So I'm like, I pull her up on it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, first of all, this is defamation. You can't be out here like making up stuff that's not even in the contract, you know? So she's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Right, so next I find a bunch of messages on Reddit from Kujo's girlfriend lying about the contract, which I'm going to put up here, which is actually very illegal, by the way. No, I won't be pressing charges over it. I just want to get this situation out of the way, but... So I'm just going to put all these up for you to pause and read if you want to. It's ridiculous, basically. She also says that I was obviously upset, so I wasn't the most cooperative. As you guys, if you skip back in this video, you'll see I was extremely cooperative when I found out what was going on. I was being very amicable when I was trying to offer Kujo solutions and being amazingly supportive and sympathetic. I refuse to fully acknowledge that a mistake on my end causing Kujo not to get paid was at the heart of all of this. It wasn't. A stolen sample was at the heart of all of this. Yes, the publishers, right, failed to correctly register Kujo, which wasn't anything to do with me. They've now remedied that and there'll be a back payment for whatever percentage we end up on. No money's been lost here, right? That is something that was the publisher's fault, which I was very annoyed about, which I actually sent a message to the publishers about, explaining how annoyed I was about that situation, fighting for Kujo in that, when I didn't have to fight for Kujo because he was being a prick, right? So I sent that message to them anyway, fighting on Kujo's side, because despite all of this, I am a man of principle still, right? I kept threatening to sue and go public. No, I didn't. I wasn't threatening to sue. I did say I would go public if my song carried on being used as leverage. I gave them a very fair warning because they didn't need to use the video as leverage, and they kept on doing that. That was because I kept getting hundreds of messages a day from my fans being like, where's the video, and I wanted to address it all at once, and I also felt like I was being treated extremely unfairly, right? I had to accept by giving up all my shares of the song in exchange for a fixed fee. Yeah, that was something between my lawyers. Ren took in public the next morning. Yes, I did.
Kujo also claimed to me and publicly that he'd been chasing publishing money for over a year with no reply, which is why he was so annoyed, as did his girlfriend. This was another lie. It's proven in his screenshots. What happened is Kujo has been asking Blank about his posting for almost a year when the song was posted. Basically, and Blank pretty much goes to the end until the Bulgarian show about your door. I know you're angry, blah, blah, blah. I was able to understand. And then he contacted Kujo back and tried to get him to give him his posting over the sample. Did he ever reach out to Blank regarding publishing before the Bulgarian choir situation? Please tell me you did, because it helps you guys, and I'm trying to do my best to help you guys here. But I'm not angry right now. I just woke up and I have ADHD, so... Wow. Yeah, that's not an excuse.
No.
Right, let's take this home now. At this point, I've just lost all amicability, right? I'm pissed off. I messaged Kujo's girlfriend and him saying, it's the first time I've threatened to sue, but I'm like, if I see any more lies from you guys about this situation, I will sue you guys. Because it's like, that's my public image. Like, I pride myself on the fairness that I show everyone that I work with, right? And my principles, and I'm also very against greed, and I stand against it militantly, which a lot of you will know from my work and how I treat people that I work with, right? So them spreading this stuff that I'm trying to be greedy here massively hurts my public image. So I was like, if you guys lie anymore about this, yeah, I'm going to do something about it, basically. And then I'm talking to Kujo and things get more heated. We get another email from their lawyer saying, you know, like, if you won't agree to our terms, we will take 100% of the song. That's where we stand on it. That is final. If you do not agree to this retroactive master split, we're taking everything. So I messaged back. I'm going to show you that email. I messaged back, essentially summarizing this email. I just say, I'm going to take down the song myself. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of you threatening me with my own song that I poured myself into. I've explained what it means to me. I explained to both of them what it means to me. So I'm like, I'm taking it down myself. I don't want to let them win over this. I've been in situations in the music industry before where I had to concede because I was broke, and I just had to let a powerful, greedy person win over me, you know, like. And I know this is not the same situation. It's not like Kujo is like this in this huge position of power here, but how they've dealt with this whole situation was ridiculous. So I was like, rather than like bend to this leverage and just out of principle, I'm just going to take the song off. And it's ironic, man, because the song is about greed, you know, and it hurts me a lot that it's down now. It proper hurts me, man. I can't stress that enough because of what the song was and what the song meant to me, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I sent these emails. I also send a mass email out to everybody, the publisher, Kujo, the lawyers involved, just saying how disappointed I am across the board, even from people on my side. I was just disappointed at how this whole situation been dealt with, because ultimately at the core of this situation, the only person getting proper hurt financially from this is me.
Yep.
Right? Because of my hard work that I've done to promote this music, because of my story and how that's been exploited. I'm the person who will suffer future losses for the earnings, and that regardless of earnings, fuck earnings for a second, that song I was proud of.
Yeah.
What it meant to people, I was proud of. The messages that I get from people every day, telling me like how much they relate to the song, how much it helps them through difficult times, you know, like that's gone now, that's taken away from people. So yeah, pissed off. Anyway, so I send that email out. Me and Kujo share some pretty heated words. If you're a petty person, you'll probably like to pause on some of this.
I'm not going to pause.
One of the things that took the piss the most that he said when I just lost my cool at this point. I lost all patience. One of the funny things he said after all this was like, if you really cared about your fans, then you would leave them the song. So he was turning it around on me when he'd used the song as leverage. He said, if you cared about your fans, you leave it up for them. Then he said, I'm letting my pride and ego get in the way because I'm not paying him money that I didn't think he deserved for selling a stolen beat, right? He's saying that that's my ego. It's my ego's fault. And then he's just saying, he kept saying, just pay me, let me get my bag, I want the money, just give me my money. I explained to him again, like, dude, I'm not the person that pays you the money. I've explained this to you so many times. It's the publisher. And he's like, all right, cool. It finally seems to sink in that, like, I haven't stolen this man's money. I haven't taken a penny of this man's money. The publisher was at fault for not registering it properly, and they're resolving that, and then he'll get his money from the publishing. I don't want a penny of that. I don't care about that money. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. He deserves a bit of money for making that part of the beat. Sure. He shouldn't have stolen a sample and sold it to me. Theoretically, he could have all of his publishing taken away, but even after all of this, I still agreed to give him a bit of a publishing split, just to shut him up, man. So it's like, I could have been even more petty and dug my feet in there, but I just want this situation over with. So the song's down. The funniest comment that I'm going to end this on, because this is going to be some album artwork, by the way. Single artwork, sorry. This is the next announcement. He goes, all right, peace. Your music sucks, by the way. Which is really funny, considering I
read that,
the message earlier where he told me that it was an honor, or it was like, it was really good to work with me. Funny. It's funny, hypocritical. Funny. But yeah, sure, my music sucks, brother. Cool. That's going to be the single artwork, which leads me to my last point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm releasing a song about this whole situation.
Okay.
And it's dedicated to Kujo. And it's coming out next week. It's coming out a week today. It's called Kujo Beatdown. And I love it. We made an amazing video for it. I made a beat. By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself. I wrote all the lyrics myself. All the beats are mine. And that'll be going up on YouTube and Spotify next week. I'll also be recreating Sick Boy, because those lyrics and that arrangement is mine. So for the anniversary of Sick Boy the album, you will be getting Sick Boy the beat remade, bigger and better than ever, without Kujo's input on it. So look forward to that as well. And then there's also a third song dropping. There's a little bit more positive. Next week's song, is angry. All right, I'm just going to warn you there. And before Kujo and his before they start complaining about blah blah blah, artistic license here. You know what? I've said my piece. I'm not interested in ruining your life, bro. But I felt like I needed to get it out somehow, and so I got it out somehow. And I hope you're watching this, man. And I hope you enjoy the song, because it's dedicated to you, baby. Anyway, guys, I know that this was a long video, but I wanted there to be no doubt as to where everything stood in this situation and why you don't have a song that means so much to so many people and means so much to me. But there will be a revamped version of that song coming very soon, guys. And if you've made it this far, thank you sincerely. And I hope there can be no doubt as to this situation. Thank you.
Bro. Oh my Jeebus. That was a long video.
Yeah, it was, but it needed to be a long video. Like I don't care. I don't care whether anybody watches this or not. Like it's just one of those where
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you know, he fucked up because he got greedy, and and he fucked up. You know, Kujo fucked up, but he won't. He's one of those that he's not gonna take responsibility for it either.
You know he's not.
He's not gonna take accountability for the fact that he's the one that screwed up. So that's whatever. Ren's just gonna keep moving,
and I hope he does. Just like Nemo and Dory said, just keep swimming.
Yep.
Just keep swimming.
I mean, at the same time, like for Kujo, it's gonna suck now because everyone's gonna they're gonna scrutinize the rest of his beats forever because they're gonna remember this moment. Or they're just not going to work with him, period, just to get away from the greediness. You know what I mean? To get away from that type of drama. Like, they're just going to get away from him now. So, sucks to suck, but you did it to yourself.
Well, guys, we're going to leave this here.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. If you made it this far, we greatly appreciate you. But I'm not going to edit nothing out of it. I'm just going to upload it.
Yep.
No edit. I might throw in a intro screen and an outro, but that's gonna be about it. Hope you guys have a great day, morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever, and be sure to smash that like button. Help us help Ren. Thank you.
We'll see y'all next time.
Doses.